If you're considering the keto diet, you may have wondered how long, exactly, it takes to enter a ketogenic state. The answer: it depends on your eating schedule, activity level, carb intake, and a host of other factors. Yes, ketosis is complex. That said, many people start producing ketones within days of going keto. But producing ketones isn't the same as being keto adapted, which can take longer. This article is your science-based guide for entering ketosis, how long it takes, how to tell you're in ketosis, tips to get into ketosis faster, and more. Keep reading. So how long to enter ketosis? Ketosis is defined, by some sources, as having blood ketone levels elevated above 0.3 mmol/L (mmol/L). This can be measured with a blood test. Some folks will enter ketosis following an overnight fast, while others may require several days of low-carb dieting to start making ketones. Your individual time to ketosis depends on a variety of factors. You'll learn those factors soon, but first a crucial point: having elevated blood ketones doesn't necessarily mean you're keto adapted, or fat adapted. Being fat adapted means your body can effectively utilize stored body fat for energy. The thing is, making ketones is not the same as using ketones for energy. You might start making ketones after a 16-hour intermittent fast, but keto adaptation takes more time. Typically 2 to 4 weeks. And guess what? You have to fat adapt before the keto benefits start rolling in, such as fat loss. Initial weight loss on keto is mostly water weight, but once you fat adapt, your cells start burning body fat, more stable energy. Running on fat means getting off the blood sugar roller coaster and on the keto energy train. Reduced cravings. Using fat for energy means less cravings. Why? Lower ghrelin, your hunger hormone, lower CCK, an appetite stimulator, and other chemical changes. Clearer cognition. Higher ketone levels are linked to enhanced working memory, visual attention, and task-switching performance in the elderly. Enhanced endurance. In 1980, Dr. Steve Phinney showed that keto dieters lasted longer on the treadmill than higher carb folks. The point is, being fat adapted is distinct from being in ketosis. Fat adaptation can take weeks, while getting into ketosis may only take days or hours. Measuring if you're in ketosis. As you just learned, being in ketosis isn't synonymous with being keto adapted. Ketosis simply refers to having elevated ketones in your blood, breath, or urine. This can be measured. Here's how. Number 1, blood testing. Ketone blood testing is first on this list because it's the most validated method for measuring ketosis. You can measure ketones in the lab, or use an at-home blood ketone meter. These tests measure a ketone body called beta-hydroxybutyrate (BHB) in your blood. Anything above 0.3 mmol/L is considered elevated, but optimal levels may be north of 1 mmol/L. Number 2, breath testing. Ketone breath tests measure acetone, a ketone body responsible for the fruity phenomenon known as keto breath. Breath testing isn't as well validated as blood testing, but one study did find acetone levels to be positively correlated with BHB levels in the blood. Number 3, urine testing. What's the easiest way to measure your level of ketosis? Urinary test strips. Urine strips may be less accurate than blood testing, but they make up for it with ease of use. Just pee on the strips, note the color change, and find the corresponding ketosis value on the label. According to the research, the best time to measure urinary ketones is early in the morning and after dinner. Why do some people enter ketosis faster? Entering ketosis isn't like cooking a turkey for 4 hours at 325 degrees. There are many more variables to account for. One person, an elite athlete, say, might be in full-fledged ketosis after a 12-hour overnight fast. Another person, however, might be low-carb for a full week before her test strips change colors. Varying activity levels may explain some of these differences. Exercise helps dispose of excess blood sugar, which can accelerate the transition to ketosis. Ketosis, after all, is triggered by low blood sugar and insulin levels. Eating and fasting schedules also matter. Intermittent fasting, for instance, can help put your body into fat-burning mode because fat is your body's preferred long-term fuel source. That's right. When you don't eat for an extended period, you start oxidizing body fat for energy. And when you oxidize more fat, you make more ketones. Other factors that affect time to ketosis include sleep, stress levels, age, body composition, and certain genetic variants affecting fat metabolism. Some of these are within your control, others are not. Yet the elephant in the room remains. The main reason folks don't enter ketosis faster. Yes, it's carbs. The truth is, many people think they're low carb, but they're not really low carb. Hidden carbs are everywhere: snacks, sauces, soups, wraps, and so on. One or two slip-ups and you'll steam past 20 grams daily carbs, a good keto limit, without even realizing it. With that in mind, time to review some practical tips to accelerate your keto metamorphosis. 5 tips to enter ketosis faster. Number 1, mind your carbs. Carb restriction, it's true, is the key to ketosis. Here's why. Cutting carbs keeps blood sugar levels low. Low blood sugar keeps insulin levels low. Low insulin signals your cells to burn fat and make ketones. Athletes can probably go a bit higher carb and stay keto, but to play it safe, keep carbohydrate intake around 20 grams per day. For some people, keeping carbs under 20 grams per day is a cinch. But for others, it's the single biggest obstacle to their ketogenic success. Having a strategy can help. Track all the carbohydrates you consume each day, being sure to account for sneaky, hidden carbs. That honey mustard dressing, for instance, could be adding 15 to 20 grams carbs to your salad. Be mindful of sauces, pastes, yogurts, and many other products as well. Added sugar makes food taste good, so food manufacturers put it everywhere. Travel and eating out are probably the hardest times to stay carb conscious. The solution? Do what perfect keto founder Dr. Anthony Gustin does and make special requests at restaurants. Doesn't this bread-free porchetta and egg sandwich look delicious? Number 2, increase fat intake. On the keto diet, you take all those calories that would have been carbs, and you eat them as fat instead. Don't fear a high-fat diet. Fat helps you absorb fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, and K. Build your cell membranes. Store stable energy as triglycerides produce more ketones. Curb your cravings by reducing hunger hormones. Hold on, isn't saturated fat bad for your heart? Actually, this myth has been debunked. In fact, 2 recent meta-analyses, studies of studies, have found no link between dietary saturated fat and risk of heart disease. The truth is, to enter ketosis faster, there's no substitute for filling your plate with healthy fats. Olive oil, coconut oil, avocados, almonds, butter, lard, heavy cream, Greek yogurt, goat cheese, nut butter, fatty fish, the list is long and not very restrictive. For a full list of keto-approved foods, check out this comprehensive post. Number 3, intermittent fasting. When you don't eat for a while, which energy source do you think your body turns to? It's not carbs. Glycogen stores, stored glucose, get depleted fairly quickly, especially if you're active. It's not protein. You produce ketones during a fast, which prevents muscle protein breakdown. That leaves fat. During a fast, you burn, or beta-oxidize fatty acids to meet your energy requirements. Fast long enough and, regardless of prior carb intake, you will enter ketosis. But the more sustainable path to ketosis is to combine an intermittent fasting regimen with the keto diet. Intermittent fasting, if just means taking breaks from food at regular intervals. You can intermittent fast for 12, 16, or 24 hours at a time, among other methods. If accelerates keto because if helps you fat adapt. Your body starts running on fat stores, not sugar, making the transition to ketosis all the easier. Number 4, consume MCT oil. Medium-chain triglyceride oil (MCT oil) is the perfect ketogenic food. When you eat this flavor-neutral oil, it travels straight to your liver for conversion to ketone bodies. In one study, just 20 grams of MCTs boosted ketone levels in a sample of elderly adults*. Plus, their mental performance increased compared to non-MCT controls shortly following this meal. If you're just starting with MCT oil, go slow. Start with 1 tablespoon and titrate up from there to avoid any digestive issues. Number 5, try exogenous ketones. The keto diet isn't the only way to enter a state of ketosis. In fact, you can consume ketones directly in the form of exogenous ketones. Exogenous ketones are simply ketones that originate outside your body. Although they're outsiders, these synthetic ketones are essentially the same as ketones inside your body. Most exogenous ketones come in the form of BHB, your primary energy ketone. You'll find these BHB products packaged as both ketone salts and ketone esters. Ketone esters may be more potent than ketone salts, but the salts appear to last longer, asterisk. And for taste, most people prefer ketone salts. Taking exogenous ketones isn't a substitute for fat adapting, but it does increase blood ketone levels. Researchers have shown that taking exogenous ketones enhances fat burning during exercise, increases mental performance, measured by mice navigating a maze, may improve Alzheimer's symptoms, in one human case study, reduces blood glucose levels.